G'day everyone, welcome back. Now I do apologise, last week there was no videos, so I guess we can dive into why there wasn't. First one, finally got my ute back, we'll go through that later. But so mainly the reason we didn't do any videos last week is because we're doing the gardening, and I'll go and show you, we finally finished it, it's all done. And that was just, you know, it's gardening. I didn't want to show that. It's not worth filming. And then you'll see here, we have got our shed site all done, ready to go. Now, we've also cleared all out the front. So we need more gravel, like a lot more gravel. So I've got to get to carting that fairly shortly. Not sure when I'm going to cart it, but I'm going to get it carted. The biggest thing with sheds is you just completely, when you're not dealing with it, you just completely forget about the elevation and just how high the difference is. Just for going, you know, 20 meters from here to there, we've come up nearly, I don't know, nearly half a meter, maybe 50 centimeters, something like that. So it sort of threw our shed out a little bit, our plans and everything like that. You can see how steep it is out the back here, where there's going to be a door to come out the back to take your horses there, and there's on this side there's going to be stables, and the stables just drop off. So yeah, it's just something that we did not think about at all. Just we had it all beautifully planned out how we wanted it all to look, and then you just completely forget about the elevation of everything. But you might be able to see over there, so yesterday I went to Perth and I picked up my ute, and Henry started spraying. Hopefully we'll be able to go down and see him today, get the drone up. We do have misty stuff around at the moment, so we'll see. But the shed has been delivered, so the shed is ready to go. Now that's not going to get put up until I think the end of October, and we are currently, oh look at that, the first. Give you a little sneak peek, there's the ute, but we'll go through that later on. We got work to get done. All right, up here you'll see we have got rid of all of that sand. All the sand is gone, so we dug it out essentially, and what we did is just took it and put it over here. The lawn it's green and it's yellow, it's working, it's alive, I mean it's taken because we've got green growth, but there's also a fair bit of dry patches out there. I'm just trying to get the retic up to it and keep it going. Now you're already seeing the veggie garden, but we have finished it. We've put a door on, we've got our raised garden beds, we've got the duck enclosure over there because we had a bunch of ducks so that the duckies eat all the bugs. And then the last thing we've done is just mulch everything. So everything is all mulched all the way up past the well, to the clothesline. So you might be able to see it's a bit rough. It needs more of a smoother rake across it, but it's all done, and I am so glad that it's all done. It's been a big effort to get it all done, and I'm glad we have. But now it's time to focus on the farm. So we're going to head down to where the other shed site is, and I'm pretty sure that they're finished with the fire unit down there, and they're going to need that topped up. I think they're nearly finished down there, so we'll go and have a look, see what it needs doing, see if we need to go and fill the fire unit up and get it back down there for them. They use the fire unit just to wet all the gravel down, and it just helps with compaction and making it a lot easier for them to do their final trim. Now, bit cruel, haven't shown you the outside of the ute yet, but let's talk about the ute. So I got a GVM upgrade on it and sent it to Perth. So it's got the Swank GVM. If you guys are into full drives, you'll know what that one is. So it's doing the whole thing proper. The bearings on this thing aren't great, so you know, we're planning to do the Gibb River and all that next year, so we want to make sure that we're not a stranded ram on the side of the road. Plus with towing and just all the weight that we're going to be pulling, I wanted to make sure that I had the ute proper. So I set it up there, got it sorted. The guys did it within a week, but the issue I had was I had hit a bird 2 months ago with my ute, and it hit the right hand headlight. Now I'd already ordered the headlight from Ram. I'd ordered a headlight for $5,500. And I ordered a side step bracket because my side step had broken as well. Now he couldn't get it licensed, like, well, he couldn't go and take it to licensing with the broken headlight because you couldn't tell it's broken, but there's moisture in it, and you're not allowed moisture in any light when you're going to get it over the pits. So basically what he did was he took it out, and then we got it sent from, when it finally rocked up to Ram in Rockingham, it got sent up to Swank in Perth, so Malaga. So if you know Perth, Rockingham's at the bottom, Malaga's at the top. It's a huge difference. The postage up there took 5 days to get it from Rockingham to Malaga, which was just disgusting. And then when they went to fit the light was the wrong, the ex-Melbourne had sent the wrong bloody part, which was just a huge headache. Now I had this ute booked in to go and get its fuel issue looked at, because when I fuel it up, it burps at me as you're fueling up. So there's obviously a breather issue because of the long range of fuel tanker on here. I had to move that appointment, didn't I? So, right, finally got the light up to him, and then it was, you know, all ready to roll. But then the licensing, trying to get it licensed, the guy down there was an absolute useless, and he just wasn't returning old mate's phone calls and just wasn't getting it done. So eventually I just said, no, I need my my Ram. I'm coming, I'm getting it, I'll just license it down home. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna I've got papers in here, I'm just gonna get it licensed. So the ute isn't licensed. It's licensed, it's perfectly fine to drive, it just doesn't have the GVM license on it. So we're yeah, so just rocking up, seeing everything that's going on here. So yeah, we're gonna see about getting it licensed in town. Now if we can do it or not, I'm not sure. The ute's perfectly fine, it's just not licensed for the GVM, which means that if I was to have a lot of weight on the back of the ute and have a crash, insurance wouldn't cover it. So not too bad. Anyway, from there it went to the other guys to get the fuel issue sorted. They couldn't find an issue. Then it was a long weekend, and then yesterday they took it up to Ram for me, and I rocked up there, and then Ram did the replacement headlight. I just wanted to make sure that my four-wheel drive system was okay when I have it in, because I'd like to drive it around in four-wheel drive auto. So you got four-wheel drive auto here, because wheels spin. I just felt like I was hearing a noise, and turns out it's fine, it's perfectly normal. And then the other thing was this. So you can see down here, I've got this light popping up, and then well, you can see that top one and the bottom one. So that's crash avoidance system isn't working, and adaptive cruise control isn't working. So I had to get them to try and calibrate that, and that took another extra 2 hours, and turns out they couldn't calibrate it. They're claiming that because I had a windscreen change, this isn't genuine Ram windscreen. That's the reason why it's not working. So now I got to sort that out. Anyway, at least I got 2 cruise controls. I do love my active cruise, but anyway. So here we've got the shed ready to go for here, and the shed site, you will see we have changed. So we did originally have it going this way, and now it's going this way. And the reason for that is just the elevation change going from top to bottom there was too much. We couldn't handle it with the amount of gravel we had. We'd have to cart extra, well, and when I say extra, I mean like a lot more gravel just to make it work. So yeah, we ended up switching our shed design. Now it's not too bad. It is just gonna be a bit interesting reversing header fronts up a hill, but yeah, we'll make it work. And yeah, it looks like this fire unit is empty, so we shall reverse up, go and fill it up, bring it back down to the guys and catch up with them. Looks like they got, you know, a little bit more to go. They got a bit more gravel there that they'll be able to just sweep on and make the apron hopefully a bit better. But yeah, anyway, that's the story of the Rams whole bloody debacle and how long it bloody took. All right, you finally get a sneak peek at it before we go through what's happened to it. But she is she's lifted quite a fair bit, which is nice. Now to the point where you can see now, I reckon I can go and turn this back around to being around the other way, because before it was just too low and I just couldn't get anything on the, you know, couldn't bloody drop anything low enough to get it on it. So I can now switch this tow ball around the other way, so I'm not lifting it so high. But the oh, I don't know if I'm going to get under that, we'll see. But a bit of an indication of how tall it is. Don't worry, we'll go through it all and I'll show you everything. But yeah, it's I'm very happy with the result. Drop that off to him, so we'll head straight down now and we'll go see how Henry's going down there, go throw the joint up, and then yeah, see how it all looks. Now we're only doing the one paddock at the moment. We're doing Athens round down, which is the velocity. That stuff was sown before the rain, and then the other stuff in Rhiannon was sown after. So the velocity's excuse me, the velocity's ready to roll. So we're spraying that, and then probably next week sometime we will spray the rest of Rhiannon. Friday is, I think, 32 degrees, so it's going to really start to cook the crops off. So yeah, that's our plan, and it'll mean that we'll be starting in the canola first, and then it will all ripen as we roll. You know, it won't be all good, bang, there it is, off you go. But so today is the 1st of October, 3 weeks from now, so yeah, around that 20th, 23rd, something like that, we'll possibly be harvesting. So scary, yeah, not long to go. Barley is turning real quick, as you can see that, and the wheat still a fair way behind. That's obviously sowing dates, it's going to change that up. But yeah, when you see the barley turning like that, you're like, oh, maybe we will finish that canola there, and then we'll head into the barley and harvest a bit of barley and then go over to the rest of the canola. You never know, it's actually what we could end up doing. If that ripens, and you know, we've got to wait a couple of days for canola to ripen over there, then yeah, there's a severe possibility that we'll be harvesting barley. But as long as the chassis drivers have had time to learn up on the canola, then they should be fine. I can see Henry's out there now, so we'll keep rolling down, and we'll finally get the drone up, finally go and see what it's like for me actually filming on, you know, following something compared to my old drone. So I'm excited. Okay, couple things. One, as soon as I realised that there was a spray plane out there, I stopped. I didn't go any further. I didn't know that there was a plane out there. But as soon as I realised, I stopped, and then I started filming from the one position. So don't come at me for that. I didn't realise it was there, and then we were miles away from it, so it would be pretty, it was, yeah, the spray plane was safe, I was safe. The the zoom on that was pretty intense. Being able to zoom into him that was that far away was pretty cool. One thing I noticed about the drone is it preferences smoothness over speed, to the point where it looked like it was doing this. I guess I'll see on a big screen, but yeah, when I'm trying to catch Henry and sit there next to him, I can't catch him because it's preferencing the smoothness of the video over the speed, which, you know, which is good. Means there's no jolty footage, anything like that. But yeah, I do love that drone. That's bloody awesome. That whole time there was just on the one battery, and out I went, and it was all good. Now on the canola, you might notice when I was looking back, so towards the west, with the sun behind it, you could see there was all, I guess the term you'd use is like lumpy. It looks lumpy. They look like there was like all these green lumps everywhere. Now that is why New Seed was out here. So that variety is Velocity, which is done by the company New Seed. And what you're seeing there is what we call an off type. So it's a different, well, they reckon it's Velocity. It's still Velocity, but in other circumstances, it can be a completely different brand of canola, or type of canola, or off-breed of canola, essentially. And it's not good. It's not good to have out there. It's good that New Seed are proactive and they've been out there and they've had a look. You know, we're in discussions about what we do. But when you see it like that, it's absolutely shocking. Now, we apparently had the worst of it. We had the bag that had 0.15% of off-type in it. And when you look at that, you're like, oh my goodness, 0.15, and that's what that looks like. Imagine if it was, you know, 1%, it'd be, yeah, littered. But the off-type is bad for a couple of reasons. So one, it grows so much taller than the other crop. It's extremely noticeable. Two, you can have sterile plants in there. So we've walked out, we've seen a few of the sterile plants, and they're massive. So they're sucking up moisture that's you know, not going to the other plants. Now the other thing is, all those lumpy green, you know, all the off types you see out there, we're spraying now because all the crop is ready to go. Now those off types aren't. Now when we're spraying them, we're probably going to get no seed out of them, or very little horrible seed out of them. So yeah, look at how many plants are out there, and replace that yield loss to what you would get, you know, if you didn't have it out there. It'd be pretty significant. So yeah, it's not an ideal situation to have happen. But yeah, I mean, I want to grow Velocity again, as long as I can guarantee that it's not going to end up like that. Okay, let's head to the shed, and I guess I'll show you guys around the ute. Rightio, I just had to duck back down to the bobcats because they needed water again, so we've gone and refilled all that. So let's get into the ram. So there you go. She's lifted, she's gifted, and I'm very happy with how high it is. Possibly too high at the back, but we'll get into that. All right, so the Ram 1500 is got a GVM of 3450 kilograms. This has got a JMac conversion done to it, GVM upgrade, and this is now at 42, I think it's just 42 flat, so 4200 GVM flat. So at the front here, they've changed the upper control arms, and then there's the spring in there is changed, and it's got this U-Butte buddy thing up there. I honestly have no idea what that does. Obviously it's the oil for the shock, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, out the back is pretty much the exact same. The back has got a different coil, so it's a bigger coil, and you can see we've got an airbag in there as well, and then there's our reservoir there for, well, sorry, that's the shock, and then the reservoir, I don't know, it's up there somewhere. And then out the back here is my airbags. So that's one airbag there, and then the other airbag is over there. Now so this is a 2-inch lift, and then I opted for 32s. I had the choice of 32s or 35s. I went for 32s because I don't need 35s. 35s are huge. So yeah, 32s. And what they do is, this diff is not my original diff. Let's see if I can see it under here. There. So that is not my original diff. My diff is now probably on its way back to Melbourne, to J-Max over there. And what they do is they get diffs with, you know, same size, same Ks. You know, this, I'd done 30,000 Ks, so I sent over one that had been converted at around 30,000 Ks. So it's not my original diff. It's not my, yeah, but mine now goes over there, and that'll be cut up, and that'll go into someone's that is around similar Ks who does a conversion just like mine. But why is it a whole different axle? So what they do is over here, they cut, and you can even see the weld there. So they cut the end off, and essentially what they do is they get rid of the crappy wheel bearings that were secured on there. I think, I don't know, but what I've always been told is it's like a Holden or a Ford wheel bearing, Commodore. Like, they're a pressed bearing, they're shocking, they go really easily, and if you go camping up in some remote areas, it'll always fail on you. This is so then they've changed it. I believe they go to like a 79 series type bearing in there. Don't quote me on that, I don't actually know, but I believe that's what they did. Now, I did have the option to go for a much cheaper GVM, which was quite literally just the springs and all that and done. But then you still got the weak point is those bearings there. And I didn't want to have that. You know, we're planning to do the Gibb River next year, so we didn't want to have, you know, the ute collapse and die. I'm going to be doing a lot of towing, header fronts, field bins, all that sort of stuff, fuel trailers, you know, you name it, we're towing. There's a lot of weight behind that you're pulling, and the weak point would just be that. And I figured we're planning to have this ram on farm for 5, 6, 7 years, so you want to make sure that you're looking after it now, and that's why I went for the more expensive option. Now, what you could probably say in the comments is, why wouldn't you just go for a 2500 to begin with? Why didn't I? I don't know. The reason was mainly the height. So, and here we are. It's now at the height of a 2500. The 2500 is a lot more expensive at the time. We didn't want to pay that sort of money for the 2500. Do I have regrets? I think I do. I think I'd prefer to have the diesel just for that peace of mind driving into the paddock. But now with how high this is, I'm much happier. This thing is much taller. I'm going to wrap my exhaust as well, so that's going to be all safe in there. Yeah. So, and what we came to, sorry, back to the whole 25-15. With all the DPF and everything that you got to do now with utes, with the diesels, they run just as hot as a petrol, if not hotter, when they're doing a DPF burn. A 79 series, I don't know, 30 k's away, burnt a paddock because they were doing a DPF burn. Well, the ute was doing a DPF burn, and yeah, caught fire. So it's not just petrols that are the danger. It's also diesel. The new style diesel with all the DPF burns is just ridiculous. So yeah, that's why. But so I do have obviously the airbags. I'm not sure if when I let the air out of them, if this will lower it at all. Things I need to do is change my spotlights and everything at the front, because the back has actually been lifted more, so the lights are all facing down. And we'll pull these tyres off now, and let's just see the difference in height of tyres. Just the tyres alone, look at the difference that it's made. Now you might be wondering, why did I have to upgrade tyres? So with the GVM, you have to go to a rated rim and rated tyre. These are stock rims, stock tyres. They're not strong enough for a GVM, so you have to upgrade it. And there you go. That is the difference. Time to get into a bit of work. So I've got the slasher out that's been stuck in there because the hydraulics have been an absolute pain to click in. We need to change the hydraulic couplers out. So I just did a quick little bit of slashing, and for some reason I can't lift it back up. At least it's down in the slashing thing, but you need to be able to lift it up and down. And I'm hoping it's got nothing to do with the way I re-welded it back on, having it clamped tight. I'm not sure. I mean, it shouldn't do, but it possibly could. I also would like to put that onto Bluey and get Bluey's, you know, a more powerful tractor onto it. Anyway, what we're going to do now is change out this spare tyre and try and put the new one in. Tell you what, I just had the phone call then. The damn petrol has run out on the bloody pump down there for the guys doing the shed site. So I've got to now take some petrol down to them. But what I was going to say was, will that new tyre, being bigger, fit underneath the tray? I have my doubts. Now you might also wonder, why didn't I fuel up the thing when it was up here? It's because I didn't fill it up from here. I actually went across the road to Tom and George's block, and I filled it up there because I didn't want to lug it all the way back here. And the irony is, I should have just lugged it all the way back here, because now I'm going all the way back down there just to deliver fuel. Feels like a Monday, but it's a Wednesday. Oh no, it doesn't fit. Oh man, that sucks. So it's obviously that there's the carrier or the cage for the old tyre, and whilst hitting the back, we're also hitting there, which is really annoying. I really didn't want to put my my wheel up here, because what that means is I lose space up here. You know, I'm already going to have a what's it called? Toolbox, which also I need to get sorted. I guess the next thing is to find out is make sure that surely Noel will build that so that it fits up to 35s. So it should fit in there. The next thing is to go and get that from home and chuck it in. Right, so when you buy a Norwell tray, obviously you've got 2 tyre holders up here. Now it'll fit whatever tyre you put up there. I'm assuming, because you know there are full drive tray enthusiasts, and lots of guys get 35s and they chuck their tyres on the back. So we're going to chuck this up here. The one thing I fear is that we will end up with a tyre rub mark up on the tray, but I guess that's just the price you got to pay. So I'll screw this in, get our tyre up, chuck it on, and we'll see how it looks. It fits, sort of. So it's obviously designed this way. You got your slot there, and then it goes down. I wouldn't want to have a 35. I don't know if 35s would actually fit on this thing, because that is already down at pretty much the limit there. So maybe if you're ever thinking about getting a Norwell tray, and you're thinking of doing tyres on the back like this, and you're thinking of running 35s, then when you go and order your tray, definitely tell them that, and then they will raise that up, I would assume, because yeah, you can't fit it in otherwise. So I was going to say that'll be the end of the video, but let's chuck the toolbox up here just so we can have a look at how that looks and how that's going to operate, because yeah, I want to work on that and get that sorted. I'm going to take it off to go and get the thing properly licensed, which is happening next Wednesday, but I want to just start my work on that and get that so it's just ready to go and just chuck back on, bolt it up. Toolbox is on the back of the ute. We'll go over there in just a sec and I'll see for the first time. I haven't opened it yet. I haven't seen what it's like. Yeah, we'll see. But the reason I'm not bolting it down today, what I want to do is I want to reverse my ute in, and what I want to do is start sorting out where the tools are going. I can put the tools in there, lift it on, lift it off, it's no issue. But why I want to do that is because next Wednesday, it goes in to get its passed over the pits. And then Friday I'm picking up one of our young blokes who are starting work for harvest. So I want to have this all done and dusted. I'm not needing to worry about it and all that. And as you guys know, that is a mobile workshop. My ute out in the paddock that is what we use for fixing anything. We go and we do fixing headers, whatever it is, that's the mobile workshop. So I need to make sure that that is all fitted out right. Now, in this one, because I've got different things, you know, you got Allen keys, screwdrivers, metric, imperial, punches, ratchet spanners. Then down there, you've obviously got the big gear. Then in there, I had up the top, yeah, what I'm getting at is I want to put these divisions into there. So up here, we've got where I used to have pliers and stuff, crescents, things like that. So you'll see what I mean when we go over here. So first of all, I have checked the airbags. They're 18.5 PSI. I haven't let them out, so I don't know if that will lower it down or not. I've got a sneaking suspicion that it won't lower it a huge amount, but we'll see. So it's a gull wing door, which isn't ideal. I'd prefer to have this tailgate there, but unfortunately Norwell don't do custom ones. So I've just got to deal with dropping the tailgate down whenever I need something. It's already high because it's on a pallet rack sort of thingy. Yeah, so, and then when we lift it up, we've got to jump up a bit to get to it. So I can't get anything up there. Well, I can't see anything up there. You can obviously see this sort of stuff. One-handed, can I do it? So you can see that our drawers haven't got divisions on there. So it gets a bit difficult, you know, if you're saying want to have your spanners all separate, you just can't do it because they're all, yeah, they'll fly around the place. So you have to figure out, I can't see in that. So you're gonna have to figure out the best way to make this work. Obviously the big one, you want to have your big tools. But yeah, gotta figure this out. I think what I might need to do is obviously bring this back a bit so there's a bit of a gap there, and buy one of those like portable steps that just fold out and pop it down, because I don't think most people, unless you're Chris from seating, who would this would be ideal height for him. Yeah, it's too tall. Big spanners will go on this one. That's easy. All those little spanners, so little spanners, the Allen keys, things like that will go on this one. It's things like this, I reckon I'll have to put, I don't know what I'll put in there, screwdrivers, things like that. But what I want to do, and I won't film it, but what I want to do is make those partitions. So I'm going to bring my ute back in and then cut up basically plate like this, and pull those drawers out and weld them in, which is exactly what I did just here. I made that and I welded it in. Might even see if I can cut that out because that was good steel, and just make it so that all your stuff doesn't go sliding around. And yeah, we'll see what we can make out of it. But with that, guys, we're going to leave the video there. Yeah, thank you for watching. It's exciting, you know, we're spraying the canola. I've got my ute back, which is exciting, and yeah, we're getting back into some farm work, which is good. So and that, just saying that, that'll be going next week. Danny's coming out, and we'll get that sorted and running. So yeah, but I'm gonna leave the video there, guys. I'm gonna dive into what I do here and how I'm gonna sort it, but we'll catch you in the next one.